Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, and you can also get me on my Facebook page, True Divine 44, and it is the True Divine for both Instagram and Twitter. Any likes, shares, subscribes, follows are greatly appreciated. I went and forgot Bitchute again. That is Bitchute channel at True Divine 44. Another platform I'm trying to get content up on and get subscribers at, just in case we don't know what's going to happen with YouTube. So this is part of the free content that I put out, where I give you the energy and tarot readings each day to help guide you to see the energies that you may have within you, or within others, or around you. Words just are stuttering today. So this is for the 9th of November 2020. Take what resonates. It is general. Leave what doesn't. Please leave a comment. I always really appreciate reading your comments to see where people are at and see how the energies are resonating. So this is interesting times, and we've got the Strength card again, but it is in reverse, and so we're being challenged here to very much so to balance out that divine feminine and divine masculine. Things that are going on around us, things that are going on in our lives, are challenging the ability to do that, are challenging the ability to have fortitude, grace, and poise where we need it, because we are being challenged by both inside forces, things that we need to resolve, and outside forces. Again, this is very much about perspective, because when we try and work it out by only working out the outside forces, then we are going to continue in the cycle of the strength, the fortitude in reverse. When we can look firstly at the inside that we need to deal with, as to why are we being challenged? Why do we feel challenged? Why do we feel out of balance with this? And really look deeply at ourselves. Now we've got the Judgment card to clarify this. And the Judgment card speaks of this, taking time out to look at where you've been, look at what you've done, look at what you need to leave behind in the dark tomb that you are rising up out of, that you're being called forth from. Look at what you need to take forward, look at what you need to employ into your future. And when we look at this would really help us turn this Strength card, this fortitude, in the right way up, because we then just know that there are certain things that we need to shed from our being, from our life. There are certain judgments that we've made upon ourselves, certain actions that we've taken that we now need to let go of, that we now need to appreciate. They've taught us the lessons that they needed to teach us, whether we feel in our own judgment that we took the right action or took the wrong action, or we're thinking the right way or we're thinking the wrong way, then that we can shed that and go forward much lighter. The message is to be lighter with this, and when we look from the within, we can be much lighter from a balanced state, looking at the things that are going on around us. In individual lives, a lot of people are being challenged. Things are coming up within families, within friendship circles, even business circles, to really show that the time has now passed. Sorry, I'm going to shut an app down in the background because I can hear it beeping, and I'm not sure if you can hear it beeping, and I don't think that would be pleasant for you. I can't shut it down without taking the video down, so I'm not going to do anything, put up with the beeping. So to take this forward, there are going to be things that we realize we need to release from our reality, that we need to release from our current circumstances in order to go forward. Now, this is, of course, difficult, which is probably why for a lot of you, the strength is turning up in reverse, because, you know, emotions are attached to this. We're at a time in our lives where we have to really challenge ourselves to keep our emotions very balanced, very calm, and not to not care, but to know that we have a calling as individuals, and things change, and things are changing rapidly right now, and people do need to get onto the path that they decided to be on and achieve the things that they decided to achieve when they came here at this present time, in order for us to bring about the reality as individuals and as a collective that we want to see hereafter. So on the collective stage, obviously, politically, we are all being challenged right now. There are things happening that are devious, that are not of benevolence, that are causing illusion, that are deliberately trying to unbalance people, deliberately trying to get people triggered. It is important that we deal with the within, so that their tricks, their magic from the collective stage, from the powers that be, don't work, so that they can't trigger us into letting go of things that we really shouldn't be letting go of, that, you know, we are just feeling like we have to because of, you know, the current circumstances and disagreements regarding the political sphere in particular. It is important that we can really resolve and see and compartmentalize what is really from us, from within, from our balanced state, and what is actually being manipulated and triggered from the outside influences. Of course, I'm talking about a lot of the political sphere, in particular in Australia, America, the UK, but there are many more that are so much more involved when we look at China and Russia, Israel. When we look at those, they are so much more involved, but they are the hidden hand very much so right now, pulling certain strings. So we see that actually where it's trickery, it's illusion. And so to not fall for that trickery and illusion is so important right now, and to not let it influence you in your current judgment state, where you are judging where you need to go forward, what you need to let go of, how you need to alter your path in order to be on your ultimate path. It's important that we do not let their trickery, their magic, their illusion trigger us into going into the wrong path, onto the wrong path. So start from the within and work your way out. No matter what reason right now you are being challenged and maybe being triggered by, I can guarantee you that there is something to find within, that even if you do get cross, even if you still disagree with others within your life, if you deal with the within deeply and honestly, then yes, you can still disagree. Yes, you can still maybe be cross, but it won't cause you to alter the decision that you are meant to make, if you have dealt with what is within first. So that's really, it's an important combination for today on the 9th. The 9 being alignment, anointment, you know, finding bliss, finding lightness. So, you know, look at that and really discern that for yourself, and do that inner work. So we've got the 2 of Pentacles, another card that has kept coming up recently. And this is where we see, for me, when I'm looking at this card, when it keeps coming up, of timelines, alternative timelines, alternative realities, mixing and mingling together, chaos being ensued, triggered, being made, in order to collide worlds, in order to collapse certain timelines, certain realities in people's lives. So we see this happening in individual lives. Again, with that Strength card and with that Judgment card, we are being challenged to let go of something in our physical reality that is causing us to overwork, to juggle things, because there's going to be an ultimate collapse of that. People get tired juggling. You can't continue juggling. So right now, today, there might be something coming up for you where you've been considering moving home, where you've been considering building something onto your home to make routine easier, to allow yourself to collapse your realities into something that is more manageable, into the one pentacle, into the ace of pentacles. It might be something that is asking you to be brave, to let go of something that seems more certain, but actually I can say to you that there is no certainty with jobs, etc. right now. There is a lot of things that by this trickery, particularly in the US, is trying to collapse certain opportunities, certain jobs. And in the UK, with these lockdowns, collapsing certain businesses, it is important that you have the strength and fortitude to think for yourself, discern for yourself, and know that only you are going to look after you and your pentacles and the earth, the things, the reality, the money, the cars, the homes that sustain you. So to make those discerning decisions and be brave to go against the trickery that is at foot, to try and take you from your opportunity, from your path, what you were meant to be doing. It might be that we have to let go of people again within our lives. We are being challenged again from the collective stage, where we are seeing people in our lives that aren't capable of doing the inner work, but are very capable because of the lack of inner work, are very capable of saying things and doing things that are just harmful and hurtful to you just because they disagree. Again, you can keep trying to juggle that. At a certain point, it's going to collapse in on itself and be a lot more detrimental to everybody involved than if you make the discerning decision from a strength in the upright, to have the fortitude, to be brave enough to let go of what needs to be let go of and shed from yourself what needs to be shed from you. We've got the 10 of Swords to clarify this. So this would impact what I was saying, the end of a cycle, the end of a tough cycle where you've been getting exhausted now, juggling two worlds, juggling two realities, where you are brave enough to say, yeah, this, I might still have investment in this. I might still have a feeling towards both of these pentacles, but actually this is decision time. This is where I end this tiresome cycle. And again, from looking at it from different perspectives, seeing yourself as the sovereign being, seeing yourself as the provider for you and yours. That might help you make the decision and be brave enough to go forward, to end something that has been very hurtful, very tiresome. There might be a few words thrown about today in a very exaggerated way that are very harmful, very hurtful, very limiting, only because, again, people are not doing the inner work and are being tricked and triggered by things that are outside of them. The magic that is flying around in force in this whole year, but particularly right now, we see that the things are coming to a culmination, they're coming to a certain end. So we have to decide that we don't just ride along and continue trying to juggle and allow the cycle to be decided for us of how this cycle ends, that we make the decision for ourselves in our sovereign and divine state. I would urge all of the business owners to look around, especially in the UK, to look around and say, hold on a minute, all of these big corporations, they aren't essential shops. If this was a real pandemic, they're not essential shops, DIY shops and whatnot. It's not essential that they stay open if we were really dealing with what they're trying to portray. So to open up your businesses, how is it fair that just because these huge corporations that have already had huge payouts, and your small business, your smaller business that still employs people or just provides for you and provides a service for others to make life more enjoyable and easier, why should you be the one to close? There is no sense in this. This does not make sense. So think for yourself, discern for yourself, and be brave enough to open up. Now, as people, especially in the UK, I would urge that we all support our businesses. If we find out small businesses that have been brave enough to open up against the tyranny that is going on within Parliament right now, if we find out that they're being fined, we go and stand outside that shop. we raise money not to pay the fine, but just in case, to protect that business so they can do so, and make our voice heard that no, we support them in numbers to stay open, to provide the services that they've worked hard to provide for. And not allow this tyranny to continue as they plan it to do so. Break through that illusion. We see the next card being the Page of Pentacles. So there's this childlike enjoyment in something that one of these pentacles that you're juggling. There's this childlike interest in it, in that it still excites you. You still enjoy doing it. Seek to go towards that pentacle. Seek to go towards that one that excites you. Also, for many people, there's some kind of creative things, especially artistic things, unusual things that you enjoy making or doing anyway. There is a business in that, and it will surprise you how much of a sustainable business there is in that. And because you enjoy doing it, the energy that you put out with each product that you create and make, I'm seeing really unusual things. People will feel that energy from you. They'll feel, so take action today to put things on sale however you can. Look around the obstacles that you've already been creating. There's very creative ideas coming up in the home of how to redesign your home, how to redecorate your home, how to get that energy flow, like that feng shui feeling, into your home and build up a place that is comfortable to be in and take pride in it again. I think a lot of this year has been like drudging through mud for a lot of people, and a lot of things are fallen from the wayside, and we've forgotten the things that excite us, the things that we can create from our own hands. So look around your home again today and make those changes. I can feel people busying on and thinking, well, again, this came up in a reading a little while ago of, why didn't I do that earlier? Why didn't I move that unit over to there? So I'm not sort of staggering around it when I put it over there and the room opens up. Simplistic things like that will lift you up and help you think more clearly as to your path forward. They really will. So we've got the King of Cups clarifying this Page of Pentacles. And so maybe some people in certain families have been, you've fallen into the sympathy trap with them, that they are acting very childlike in a way that isn't uplifting, and you've fallen into the sympathy trap with them, and you're juggling and exhausting yourself with that. It is time, as the King of Cups, the very loving king, to be an authority figure and show some tough love maybe to these people in your family, in order to do yourself a favor and in order to do them a favor, to give them something to look at with this Judgment card and Strength in reverse, and to stop having you juggle or maybe dread the visit from that certain family member or the phone call from that certain family member, with compassionate yet firm words, stamping back your authority and your time, especially if you're thinking of taking the advice to something that you enjoy creating and doing anyway, finding business in that, finding sustainability in that, but you have family members in particular or friends that are very vampiric, and they don't even know that they're doing it, but they're very energy sucking, and you've fallen into the trap of just allowing that energy to be sucked, that time to be taken and sucked, going over the same things. Some tough love is needed here, and it will really lift everybody's routine and time up and give some structure again to the family unit. So that's an important thing to do. Again, very simplistic, very easy to fall into that trap with our loved ones in particular, isn't it? To be avoiding the conflict. So initially you're avoiding the conflict. Initially you fall into the trap of just agreeing even though you disagree, or doing something even though you don't have real time to do it or energy to do it yet. But you think that'll fix that problem. But again, the problem comes back because they want more of that time, or they want more of this or more of that. And some tough love is needed here to reestablish those boundaries again, and give those family members a chance to stand up for themselves and be sovereign in themselves, to look at themselves as to, well, why do I need all of this? Why do I need all of this time, all of this sustenance, all of this there you go, you're okay, when I can stand up for myself, when I can be sovereign in myself. So initially we fall into that trap out of love, doing a favor for our loved ones, our friends, our partners, and we go along with it, but then we realize it hasn't actually stopped, and it hasn't actually solved anything along the way, and it hasn't actually made those family members feel much better. It hasn't done anything huge to create good change. It's just sort of continued now into a routine. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. There you go. You can say hi.
I've got a little loose tooth.
You've got a loose tooth. Everybody knows you've got a loose tooth. Everyone's excited for you.
Yes.
Yeah, for that tooth fairy to come. Everyone's so excited for you.
Right.
Everybody's leaving comments and saying, wow, Theodore.
I think my tooth is looser.
Yeah, every day it'll get a little bit more loose. It's so desperate for this tooth to come out, for that tooth fairy to hurry up and visit, aren't you? You got plans. He's got plans for that money, haven't you?
I need to just buy Goat Simulator mod.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. He's got big plans, this boy. So we've got the 9 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Again, keeps coming up. Stop, discern, rethink, relook. The illusions are strong. We're putting up with things in our life that are causing us to be tired and pulled down and drawn out and wringed out. And if we would just stop and look at it from a different perspective, especially with that King of Cups, that compassionate but authoritative, what did I say before? Words that, harsh, tough love, that's what I said before, would lift a lot of the burden and a lot of these wands that you are carrying unnecessarily on the collective stage. Wow, the illusion is so strong. There are so many players in the game, some looking like the good guy or that are the bad guy, some looking like the bad guy that are really the good guy, and there's also just the people who are being puppeted like robots on the collective stage around the world, and they're doing so and making life burdensome for people, making life tough for people. We can look at things in a different way. There's some key that we can turn today by looking again and seeing through something again. There's more information coming forward. There's more information coming forward in the US regarding what has been happening, but this is good. It feels stressful right now. It feels bad right now. Also in the UK, I've got a feeling more judges are going to come forward and speak against the tyranny that is going on in Parliament right now, that is affecting the collective in the UK. But we can see this again from a different perspective. This is good. The British infiltrated and has had such a heavy hand in America as to what we see today, as to how voting has gone down. They introduced, in my eyes, and created, the two wings, one bird feeling of the voting system, allowing space for so-called deep state, allowing space for corrupt. The British were already very good at that. And we've introduced that in a great deal. So by going through these tough times, it actually gives us the opportunity for many more people to be aware and awake to actually what is going on regarding regarding the fact that they're tricksters. They create illusion, they lie, and they get themselves into power and people into power that they want in power through trickery, illusion, abuse, lies. And so but in order for us to see this, because it is deep-seated, it is deep-rooted, then it was always going to be a little bit uncomfortable. But we can look at this from a different perspective and see it as a gift, in that there is no denying. There's no denying, and anybody who is denying the voting and election fraud, even in the UK, Boris shouldn't be sitting in that seat. He shouldn't be sitting in there. Before him, Theresa May wasn't even voted in properly. She wasn't even voted in properly the second time. And so it shows, by going through this, we get a chance to stop, look, discern, and really see what has been introduced into our so-called governmental systems, and really see the hand that royalty and the British Parliament has had around the world in creating such corrupt systems. And so to stop, rethink and discern, and also do that in our individual lives, what we need to shed, what we need to give no time to anymore, and how we need to go forward in our individual lives. On the bottom of the other deck, we have, yay, the 10 of Wands. So there is a lot of energy today of people being able to see things from a different perspective, to be able to bring hard cycles to an end. We've got the 9 of Wands there and the 10 of Wands there. So just as everything that I've just said, to get through this, to actually see the illusion, the trickery, the real abusers in our systems, we were always going to have these tough energies, these conflicting energies that would try and create imbalance and a lack of strength and fortitude in ourselves. And so to look at it as a gift, in that there is no denying what is going on right now. And this has the capacity to make people aware and awake in their own lives, and to be able to fix their own lives more by being more discerning, by being able to see that all is not what it seems. So we need to think for ourselves. We need to discuss things freely. We need to be able to agree and disagree, but, leave us friends. We need to be able to let go of people without guilt, who, just aren't on the train, because it also helps us see, and this is unfortunate, but it is what it is, and it's the time of the new cycle coming in, that there are some people around us that are too far gone, that even with all of this intelligence being seen, all of this evidence being shown, particularly from the US elections right now, if they can't see it now, then the magic has already gotten to them a little bit too much. They're not going to see. And these are the types of people that we need to shed from our personal lives, because these are the type of people that would be draining upon us. That is not in a nasty way. We can be like the King of Cups, compassionate and loving, but authoritative over our own energy field and what we will allow into it. So it really is to be looked upon as a gift right now, not to back any of it, but to look at it and say, okay, yeah, you've overplayed your hand. You've shown me too many of your cards. That is for the collective stage and the individual lives that we all are leading. Wait a minute, Theodore. I'll tell you in 1 second, okay? Yeah, we need to, boundaries. So much love, stay balanced and stay whole. That is the reading for the 9th of November 2020. I appreciate you all so much. I'm sending you all so much love, and so much, high frequencies that you can discern for yourselves and go forward today on your own path. Super with those creative ideas too, and I put so much energy and abundance into that for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. We can make this what it is supposed to be, an exciting time. It's full of revelation, where we can create a reality that is much more in line with natural law, you know, much more in line with who we are able to be and what we can create. So Theodore's saying bye. Much love, stay balanced, stay whole. Mwah.
Bye.